Yeah, so to vote for me, you would write Frederick Schultz
ESQ.
Esquire, ESQ. You spell my name, Frederick, Frederic, or just Fred, Schultz, Schultz, and then comma Esquire, ESQ. Fred Schultz Esquire, Fred for Prez. I'm with two homeless people who are wonderful, loving people who are suffering greatly. They slept through one of the coldest nights in history last night here in Manchester, New Hampshire, and where they're having the primary in 2 days. So tell us, okay, on the right we have, what's your name again? Brody. And then on the left we have Donna, right? Okay, so sorry, I forgot your name, Brody. Tell me what happens, guys, if you're walking the streets and you're panhandling, or you're just walking down the street and they think you look homeless. What do the police say to you? And what happens if they find you in a tent? What happens if they find you sleeping? Let's start with what happens if they find you sleeping on the street. What do they do?
Well, either if you're sleeping on like a sidewalk or a stoop or something, they'll pull up and they come over and they ID you. They wake you up. They tell you, you're trespassing. You're lucky we don't arrest you. Some of them are nice, polite about it, and actually have a heart, but some of them are really rude. And some of them are rude and they harass us, and they're like, oh, well, we're going to search you. You got needles or drugs or anything on you, or crack pipe, something,
If you're carrying a
If you're carrying a
backpack, they
backpack,
have
they
all
automatically
rights to search you, and that's
yeah.
what they do. If you have a backpack, they usually will harass you. I have been harassed probably over 50 times, okay? Having my backpack, asking me if I do drugs, where am I staying? You can't sit in front of 7-Eleven because, of course, you're obviously doing something wrong.
You're waiting for your drug dealer or this, Oh, you waiting for someone.
Well, they don't say that.
Actually, this one time I went to 7-Eleven, okay, and I was looking for a lighter for my cigarette because I didn't have a lighter. My mom happened to have the lighter, and I wasn't with her. And I went there and I was asking, hey, do you have a lighter? Hey, do you have a lighter? And then a police officer pulled up. He said, so, hey, what are you doing? Waiting for someone? I'm like, no. And then he pulls off. I start walking down the road, and I jaywalk, and he stops. He's like, oh, well, I stopped you, right? I was like, to harass me because I'm homeless or something? He's like, no, you jaywalked. He's like, so, you weren't waiting over the store for your dealer or anything, were you? You waiting for someone? I'm like, no, I'm not. I was actually trying to get a lighter for my cigarette. He's like, oh, well, do you mind if I search you? I was like, yeah, go right ahead, because I don't have anything on me. I'm not a drug user. You want to check my arms and everything. And he's like, yeah. He's like, all right, well, put your hands on the car. Put my hands on the car. He searched me. He's like, well, and before he searched me, he reached his hands in his pocket. You don't have any needles or anything on you, do you? It's like, just because I'm homeless does not mean that I use drugs, does not mean that I drink. You can be homeless and like a normal person and have problems, especially if you're it's just you and your mother, you're trying to take care of your disabled mother. You do drywall, get laid off and start working as staffing. You don't get sent out every day,
You don't get paid a lot.
You don't get paid a lot.
Everyone knows life is expensive. So
it's just
like
rough.
So you mean so you went to a staffing agency to get you work, and they're not getting you any work?
Not.
I saw you have like under $1 and change in your pocket.
Not every day. It's because I'm trying to get enough for at least us to get inside tonight, So, and then when you are sleeping outside, like
what do the police say?
Can see you. They do wake you up. They tell you to move on, or you're trespassing. Some of them are asked. And then we ask, where are we supposed to go?
And what do they say?
Where are we supposed to go? They said, anywhere you cannot be seen. So we do that. We get a tent. We bring it out to the woods where no one can see. So we walk through trails and everything. And even though there's foots of snow and stuff, we put our tents out there. And then all of a sudden, like one day we'll go back and the tents will be slashed. They happen to plenty of homeless
slashed
people.
by the police.
By the cops.
Plenty of homeless people. You'll see all the tents.
I've heard of them because of our stuff being
all the tents slashed.
Cops lighting.
So they go looking in the middle of nowhere by woods and rivers, and they find tents and they just slash them. It's the police trying to say, get out of here. You don't belong here. You don't belong. Trespassing, but who owns it?
Exactly. Just harassment.
Well, everybody owns a piece of land. That's what you gotta understand.
Uh-huh.
That is their point. Is that if we stand in this duckway right here,
Uh-huh.
Those people own that.
Uh-huh.
They don't
Not allowed
own
to sit
this.
there.
Uh-huh.
You know. Another
So
thing
they
that
own that area where you
Right.
want to sleep
And
under a
so-
door, but not
you
on
want to
this.
be in the
We were
light. You
actually
want to
right
be
there
around.
sitting one time at that building that there's no business there. And they did not even ask, you know, we were sitting there not asking people
Not
for money,
anyone.
nothing. Not one person.
Yeah.
We were just having a conversation. We didn't know where to go. We just, like, became homeless. And the state police pulled up to us and said, you're not allowed to be sitting here
in front of
a business. You know, we could give you a fine or put you in jail.
We can give you a fine or put you in jail for
and
sitting on a
$50
stoop.
fine.
But what's
$50.
Ground.
But what's ridiculous?
Sitting on the ground.
Yeah, not panhandling.
Not even asking for money.
In front of a building that had no business in it.
And then
It was
you
closed
see-
building.
And then you see some of the other homeless people that sit in front
They're
of the building,
sitting up
like
there
one
like the
sitting
guy
right there
down
and
there.
And cops drive by him all night, every night.
And he's
doesn't
here
say
all
anything.
the time. But
Don't say anything. So it's pick and choose harassment. Maybe by the way someone looks.
looks. Yep.
And you can't, and you're at this, and you're trying to get work through the staffing agency. They can't get you work.
Not
Not
all
every
the time.
night.
Not every
And
time. 'Cause
when-
there is a lot of people.
And when
going
you
down
get work, you've been sleeping on the street all night.
because they don't pay enough because there's actually new management that
You gotta come up
decide.
with a down deposit.
Well, no,
it's,
well,
it's tough to get
the new
on your
management,
feet when
you
you're
talk-
this
And-
low.
and-
So-
And wait, and when you sleep at the shelter, they take half of your social security check?
Well,
That's
they
what
want
we've
you
heard.
to. So they
want people
there's
who are on
different
Social
there's
Security.
different like tiers. Like you can be upstairs where you can keep your stuff. You get your own bed, the same bed every single night. It's a bunk bed. There's 2 beds.
Yeah.
You get to keep your stuff up there. But you have to give them, if you have a job, have to give them half your paycheck to save up, or you have to show them that it's in the bank, and you have to give it to them so they hold on to it and save it for you. But I heard a couple times that they gave them the money and they didn't get back right away. So I have no idea.
So they kept it.
I had no idea.
And
That's all I can
and you
say.
hear that they keep half of people's social security check
They
to
don't
sleep in the
keep
shelter.
it.
They
They
don't
want
keep it.
they want
want
to save
to
it for you
save
so
it
you can
for
get
you.
into a place.
But they don't give it back to you.
I have
We
no
don't
idea.
know.
So
This is
so
This
so
is what we hear.
that's what you hear. So tell me, what happens? You have now gangrene eating at your foot. You have, say this again, what your diseases are?
I have fibromyalgia,
Fibromyalgia and
gastroparesis,
gastritis,
I have
gastritis.
SVT.
What's that?
pulmonary, it's a heart condition.
Uh-huh.
Supraventricular tachycardia.
Oh, it's 9:26.
Okay. You guys got to leave in a few. Okay, so tell me this. So, and what happens if you walk into a hospital emergency room and tell them that you're sick?
Sometimes they sent this out, but I want to say that Frank Esquire, he's a
Freddie.
Freddie
Freddie Schultz.
Esquire. He's a very good man. He wants to get us homeless people off the street. He actually cares about the people. He's actually out here talking to us, listening to us, treating us like a real human being. He wants to get every homeless person like
Food, shelter, jobs.
Homes.
At least up
healthcare.
until the point of where we can be on our own feet.
Yes.
Some of us are out here struggling, just
you're-
waiting for my
If you're
social
one of us
security.
poor people, or just don't have like a good
The means.
to survive too well, and you're struggling, even though you may have a place, he wants to raise the price for like minimum wage and get us lower income people up to where we can actually live comfortably.
Yeah, and I want a guaranteed minimum wage and a room and a room for each person and some food for each person, so you can definitely have a room, food, clothes, and get back on your feet. Have a decent life.
Yes. And that's how it should be done. And everybody is different. They should individualize people.
Yes.
Everyone's different. Everyone is in a different situation.
But
Yes.
we're all the same.
But we're all the same. We still need the help.
Yes.
So if people could have a caseworker who does, judge people by what their situation
Yes.
is and help them through that
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
Everyone's not the same.
Right, and you had your own house until 10 years ago, but you lost it because you got sick from the toxic mold.
mold.
You lost it how many years ago?
About 15 years. I lost it in 2006.
That's 10 years ago.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
2006.
And because you got sick,
Yep.
because
I
the
could
house
not
got
work
disgust,
anymore.
because the house got the mold.
Yep. All my funds were appreciated. I had to pay for my doctor and everything until I got my Social Security, which took some time, and just trying to survive, not being able to work. I had no income coming in.
Uh-huh. What had you used to do?
I used to own my own cleaning company. I cleaned new houses
Okay.
before people moved into them.
And did you have other people working for you?
It was me.
Okay.
I helped.
You helped. Cool. Cool. And then what? And then you had you couldn't do it anymore
I
when you got
couldn't do
sick.
it anymore.
Yeah. But you had your
In
own.
and out of
Lost everything.
Where-
doctors, heart surgery,
Where was your house?
on Hughes Road
Here in
in Manchester.
Manchester.
Yep, right behind the mall. in
And you had a
Manchester.
pool.
I had a pool. I had a yard, fenced-in yard, horseshoe pit, nice deck. I had it. I worked
Grill,
hard.
everything.
Wow.
Other than nice,
So if people
Oh,
think
And you're
our
47.
living
You're
room
47.
literally a
And how old are you?
band room. I'm 23 now.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Our living room used to literally be a band room. We had a $1,300 Pearl White
We had
drum
stuff.
set. We
We
had
could
about
afford
like 2 acoustic electric
But I
guitars,
also
a
helped
bass,
people.
keyboard.
I really did.
And we
Yeah.
used to
we
take
used to take
we used
people
to
out of
take
the
the
homeless
shelter
shelter.
because my stepdad owned his own construction company. We give them work. We
Yep.
give them a room.
and then would
we
give
feed
them a room as soon as we knew them.
Uh
You know
huh.
what I mean? A little bit more, but we would take people out of that home.
Yeah.
We actually took one of this guy in, and now I mean he used to be a hardcore heroin user, and now he's very
Church-going
church-going
guy.
man. You know,
yeah,
he mentions
he's-
us all the time. You know,
in
he
the
remembers
churches,
us. He's
yeah.
actually marrying. What is she?
I don't know.
And you took him in, and you helped get him off of heroin.
Yeah. Well, he got off.
He got off.
He got
of
off
it.
by himself, but he got off.
We used to take care of
We used to
him.
take care of him,
We
give
gave
him
him a
work.
roof. We didn't treat
roof
him
over
like
his head.
shit, you know what I
didn't
mean?
charge him rent. You know.
We tried
Mhm.
to help him.
Uh-huh.
You know? And yeah, now he is totally clean. He's in a church, church-going guy.
Yeah.
And he speaks often of us because we helped him through that. It's
Wow.
only one person. It would take one person.
Right.
Like foster
that's
care,
all it takes
okay?
is,
Takes
nice
one
people.
one person to take one child off the street,
Yeah.
from hard times.
Yes.
And help them.
Yes. Yes.
What about older people that are going through this? There should possibly be something maybe like that. If somebody could help that person get through.
Yes.
If they
Yes.
have extra room in their house.
Uh oh. Wait.